Okay, so anybody who's just come in here, it's Mark Holmes, of course, and shout out to the 302 people that are here on my main channel, as well as the 28 on the other channel. We have been sitting here, or at least I have been sitting here, for going on 2 hours. I got here at 4:45 because I wanted to brief to you guys what Micah Parsons said. I sat down here at 4:45. I ended up sending my phone number in so I could get in with the chat for the Micah Parsons show. And I have been sitting here and originally started actually recording right around 6 and was recording while I was waiting for Micah to show up. And by the time it was 5:30, I said, you know what? I'm tired of sitting here by myself. So I said, let me go ahead and I'll start a live stream. And then if Micah Parsons shows, then we can all watch it together and get a reaction from everybody. But here it is. We are literally an hour and a half, almost an hour and 24 minutes late for this on Bleacher Report after sending in my phone number that they could send me the link. And now I'm sure I'm going to be on the Bleacher Report's spam list, okay? Maybe this is a plan by Micah Parsons, and having comments with all the people in the chat that are sitting here waiting for Micah to show up. Micah has not shown up. And I'm having a feeling that he is not going to show up today. And I'm trying to figure out how I feel about this. Because, see,
you waste your time.
I'm going to say this much, okay? This is what I'm going to say. And maybe I end up getting banned, cussed out, said I'm wrong or whatever. But see, here's the problem. And I'm going to say this not just about football players. I'm going to say this about fans. I'm going to say this about anybody, okay? Jimmy Johnson famously said, if you're going to talk the talk, then be prepared to walk the walk. You cannot be, I'm going to be there when things are great, okay? You have to show up through good times and bad. And see, this is actually great relationship stuff too. You know when you have a real friend? I'm going to tell you when you have a real friend, or how to know that you have a real friend. When you have to move and you don't have anybody else and you call around and say, hey bro, I need some help. Can you help me? You'll find out everybody's got something to do. Oh man, I'd be there. Even though that they come to your house and they drink your good liquor and hang out with you and watch the games and stuff and go to games and things, right?
That's David Wiley.
What's that? Right. See, that's where I look and say David Wiley is a true blue friend. Because see, David on his day off comes over here and help me cook.
No, he came.
Okay, after I have to cook for hundreds of people. But not only that, David Wiley, when Mike had to help Gina move, and he was down. It was the fourth quarter, 2 minutes left, and he was down by 6. And it's like, Dad, I need some help, man. This is some big shit here. And guess who showed up? David Wiley rode up there the 4-hour trip with me, helped move, and took that 4-hour ride on his day off. That is what a true friend. That is talking the talk and walking the walk.
Well, she's the same way too.
But when you have people that, when you got money, you got lots of friends, and when you don't, they don't come around. Sorry. And see, this is one of those things that maybe Micah had something that came up that was important. I'm going to give plausible deniability, but I know that I have a leak upstairs in that ceiling, okay, that I got to fix. But I stopped doing that because I wanted to hear what you had to say. And I want you guys to understand that Jerry Wayne Jones and Stephen Jones, they don't have all the billions of dollars. If it wasn't for jackasses like me and Michael going out there buying an Eric Kendricks jersey, going to the damn games, buying stones to go in the walkway of fame, right? Watching their shit on the news, us here as YouTubers propagating this stuff, selling the bullshit that Jerry Jones has, trying to give you hope, because we literally here as YouTubers will try and find the little smallest little piece of shit here detail and say, here's why we're going to be better. Here's why it's going to be different. We end up towing the company line for these people. Okay? And what do we get out of it? We sit here. I have sat here for 2 hours waiting for Micah Parsons because he says doing a podcast has no bearing on what he does on the field. And yet we've got his teammates who are saying, bro, we ain't stopping the run and you doing your podcast. Well, guess what? Maybe he's taking Malik Hooker's advice and saying, we ain't stopping shit. We ain't stopping shit. Maybe I should reflect on a short week that we got to go to New York on Wednesday. Today's Monday. Maybe, just maybe, I need to do something different. And maybe that's the case. Maybe I should be happy right now. But my thing is you have been talking the talk. You have been on everything. You are the, president of Bleacher Report now? You are the guy that's looking to be the highest paid player in the NFL. You got fans like me that don't have millions in the bank, okay? I'm a broke ass, okay? Okay? That's where I can't call a plumber to go fix my shit. I got to go fix that shit my damn self. I got to patch the drywall. But I'm taking my time that I should have that thing fixed and waiting for you, Micah. Waiting for you. And understand that this broke ass and all these other broke asses out there right now are the ones that are paying this out. And I'm going to give you another, while I'm sitting here being pissed off too. This is actually really pisses me off because, see, my dad is 86 years old, retired on a fixed income, okay? Shout out to him. You know, he's got, I'm going to say, doing Bet US. I was actually at the hospital with him today, okay? He took $100, said, I'm going to start an account, Bet US, and I'll become his bookie. I love it. I enjoy it so much because, he calls and talks about, well, what do you think about this, that, and the other? So it's actually made our relationship closer on this. Because I talked to him, with football now, Sunday, Monday, Thursday, he wants to put a little something on each games. But this is the travesty that is right here, right now. My dad is the person who made me a football fan from the time I was a little kid looking up at my dad sitting on the couch. I didn't know what the Dallas Cowboys were. I didn't know what they were. All I knew was the person that I looked up to, that worshiped, and even still today, was a diehard Cowboy fan, and I wanted to be just like him. And for those out there saying, you're just a bandwagon fan, yeah, I guess I am a bandwagon fan. I'm a bandwagon fan of my father. And when he watches my show and says, cussing ain't right, son, I try and do better because I still respect my father. Here's what sucks. My dad, who is a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan from back in the days of Bob Bullet, Hayes, and everyone else, he says, well, wait a minute. He said, so the game on Thursday night, what's it on? It's on Amazon. I don't have Amazon. Well, how about the Eagles game? What's that on? Well, that's on Paramount. I can't do Paramount TV. I don't have that. Well, what about the Monday night game? That's on ESPN.
No, it's on CB. You can watch it. I think
this one, because I said, well, I said this is the Washington game, so that's the local game, so that'll be on TV. So you have literally now taken a lifelong fans that may not be able to afford to get Amazon Prime, Netflix, Paramount TV, YouTube TV to be able to watch this thing. And that's what's sad about this whole NFL thing. Because the NFL is literally pricing the people who are the diehard fans that have built this out of it.
They're price gouging.
So, Micah, sorry, bro. I need to hear a real reason why you have all of us sitting here waiting for a podcast that you probably should not be doing.
But what's his excuse for not going to Skip Bayless's show?
That would have been the worst thing right there.
He never had an excuse for that one.
Yeah. Dak should be calling the players to take charge more. He showed it at the end to bring us back.
Yeah, when CeeDee Lamb was on the
NFL
field,
doesn't care about the fans; it's just money, and that's where we are, people.
they're
So,
like the price gouge people.
2 hours of my time. 2 hours of my time has been here waiting for Micah Parsons. And I would like to hear, maybe he's getting treatment. The team had a players-only meeting, that there was something, a reason behind this. But you can't be there and look for everybody to treat you like a god when you win. And this is the thing. This is the thing. Again, I'm old school, okay? My thing is if you're going to do that every time you get a first down, you can't sit there and pout and cry when you don't. Because, see, those are the kind of things that people see, and that's why they want to kick your teeth in. Because you're a front runner. If you're going to talk the talk, these Cowboys got to learn to walk the walk. And the reality of it is, the reason why they America's team, they didn't have anything to do with it. Those guys up there, my football gods, those guys that are dying off broke, the Drew Pearsons and the Rayfield Wrights, the Charlie Waters, the Bob Bullet Hayeses, the Charles Haleys, the Rod Woodsons, those guys are America's team.
Larry Allen just passed.
Those guys right there, those guys who played for the love of the game, because they damn sure were getting paid, $60 million or $35 million a year and shit. Those guys had jobs in the off season, and they played and gave everything that they had to be on that field to become America's team. These guys, these guys, they're living off of their backs. That's where I'm kind of pissed off right now here. I'm kind of pissed off right now at this moment, and this is raw. And forgive me, everybody on here, but I've been pushed around and I'm fed up right at the moment because here's where I'm going to say that we as a fan base, that some of us are part of the problem as well, because when the Eagles, we rode the Eagles back because they were the ringless wonders and all that stuff, and now they clamp it back because we ain't done anything in all those years, and it's true. We haven't done anything in all those years. And a lot of you people out there, will be quick to say, well, we got 5 rings. And the thing that really pisses me the F off,
Like 2 or 3 years ago, the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
To me, that's like using the Lord's name in vain, because y'all don't go to Cowboys church. If you ever say we got 5 rings, then you better know about the people who got those 5 rings. You need to know not only that the Dallas Cowboys defense during the 90s was the doomsday defense number 2 and was number 1 defense, but you need to understand guys like Bill Bates that became the first special team Pro Bowl player because of his special team work. You need to know that kind of stuff. You need to know about the coaches like Norv Turner, who was an offensive genius. You need to know about the Dallas Cowboys, how Roger Staubach and Craig Morton literally alternated series because Tom Landry couldn't figure out if he was going to go with the new type of quarterback or the stable quarterback that lost to the Colts in the Super Bowl. You need to know about Bob Bullet Hayes, who was the fastest man out there alive, track star that became a Hall of Fame. You need to understand about the manster, the half man, half monster, or the beautiful, or the marvelous, Harvey Martin, okay? You need to know those things before you can say, we got 5 rings. Because this is where I was pissed. Oh my God, it pissed me off. For me, growing up with my dad that I look up to and seeing those guys play, to see the Hail Mary as it happened, to see Tony Dorsett run 99 yards on Monday Night Football with 10 guys on the field, to see them unfortunately lose to the Steelers twice in the Super Bowl, finally getting their first Super Bowl win against the Miami Dolphins, to understand what it was like with George Allen versus Tom Landry. I can say that the Cowboys have 5 rings because I've been there. I've chewed up that dirt. I've watched. I've been a part of it. I understand it. I respect it. I give penance to those guys that were great. But to have gone to Drew Pearson's Hall of Fame party and see the greatest of the great roast Drew Pearson, to see Tony Dorsett, who is suffering now from CTE, to see him talk about running that 99 yards. He says, I'm getting tired. I'm running. He said, I see Drew Pearson. Drew Pearson, he kind of runs like a duck. And he's up there on stage literally doing this, and I'm just like, oh my God, these stories are freaking insane, okay? And he's like, Drew, just get in front of somebody. Just get in front of somebody. I got to go all the way. To see that, to see Bob Lilly, Mr. Cowboy, to rest his soul, Rayfield Wright, to hear Roger Staubach literally say, it doesn't matter what kind of pass I make. If Drew Pearson doesn't catch it, I'm a nobody. To see the cream of the crop of the Dallas Cowboys there, alive, talking about what made this team great, what made it to be America's team. And I was there taping the whole thing. My God, I could have literally died that night and said, I have lived a fulfilled life. And I put this up there, this video. All of these Cowboys greats that are in their late years talking about Drew Pearson and reminiscing. And nobody gave a rat's ass about any of them. Nobody gave a rat's ass about those guys. But then they're the first ones when the Eagles come at them to say, we got 5 rings. And you know what I have to say for those people that don't give a rat's ass about those guys that earn those 5 rings? F you. F you. Do not ever say we got 5 rings and know nothing about it. And that's what that is my problem with today's Cowboys and some of today's fans. And that's all I have to say about that.